What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the overall market, how this may affect NIO, what's happening with the technicals right now for many different stocks, from SPY to Tesla to the QQQ, what you should be watching for moving forward. Before I break down about all this information, though, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I am not a financial planner. Take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 10 free stocks. And it could be a free NIO share, a free Tesla share, and a mix of all of them. The offer ends very soon. So anyways, let's break down the charts right now and talk about what's going on. So for NIO, I told you guys that we had this bullish divergence developing on the RSI and the MACD. And this caused NIO to get a nice bounce for Friday as NIO pushed up to about $8 before it started to slow down. But the thing is, even though NIO made the bullish move, there's a bearish crossover on the PPO. And it's very likely that NIO may see some very sharp or even some more downwards pressure because of the markets. But we're going to be watching to see if this thing could establish a higher low. Let me also add that for the market may lead to some downwards pressure for NIO because of what's happening with the debt ceiling. Now, Biden has signed the debt ceiling bill, which is great, right? We're avoiding a default, but different people could have different interpretations, of course. I'm just saying it's great, at least for the market, or at least it was great as we approached it. Not getting political with this, right? Some people could say and criticize the bill. Some people may not. It's your choice. I'm just referring to the markets right now. The market loved this. The market was pumping, approaching this big bill. But the thing to remember is we've been pumping, approaching it, and we've been pricing in a lot of upside because of it. And as a result, now that the news is out, this could be resembling a buy the rumors, sell the news kind of event because the market might start to sell off afterwards. And we are getting some bearish signals on the NASDAQ that are suggesting that's very possible. Before I talk about that, though, let's talk about some other important things. For Monday, there's not a whole lot going on in terms of earnings. I mean, we have just a couple of decent-sized ones like Campbell and not to mention GameStop. But besides that, nothing's too big. However, for Friday, we do have NIO's earnings. It's going to be happening on 6/9. Very interesting date. What's funny about that is NIO has these reports to be discussing, and we're going to find out what NIO's guidance is moving forward. William Lee Ben and NIO's board are going to be asked a lot of questions, and they're going to be talking a lot about what's going on with NIO's deliveries. They haven't been the best, and we're going to find out how they respond to it and what they're expecting. Even if NIO's earnings aren't that great, if NIO gives us some very bullish news about the future of their earnings or they announce something else, this could help the share price make a nice bounce. If not, there's always risk to the downside afterwards. For tomorrow, we have a lot of data coming out. We have the PMI report again, 15 minutes after the market opens. Instead of the manufacturing side, it's going to be around the services side. And the same thing is going to be happening at about 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, so 15 minutes after open, 30 minutes after open too. We have lots of data coming out. Expect lots of volatility after all this news comes out. However, let me also add that NIO once again has earnings 6/9, going to be an important date. NIO reported their deliveries. That's really the last thing I saw from them in terms of news. I talked plenty about this. Let me just close this ad. The news is still talking about this, so there's nothing new going on. We have the new ES6 that came out, but despite that, NIO still reported earnings and results that look like that. And looking at their data, I mean, it wasn't the strongest looking sales for them. NIO has to discuss this and talk about new strategies and earnings. Now, volume was 62 million for Friday. We got a very nice technical bounce, lots of buying pressure in the morning, but then slowed down as time went on. On top of this, the price-price ratio, very flat for NIO, not a whole lot is going on. Relative to price, not much is going on with the price. It's been undervalued. It tends to be weak, not the strongest on Mondays. We're only green about 49% of the time. And June tends to be not the best of months. NIO's only green about 47% of the time in June in general. And finally, the short interest did go up for NIO. We saw a lot of shorting recently, which is why NIO came down quite a bit. And the question is, could NIO see a squeeze after earnings, or how will NIO move approaching it? And for now, let me break down something important. So with the whole debt ceiling, I mean, the market was pumping, approaching it. Now that the news is out, we're about to get a bearish cross on the PPO and SPY, and we're very overbought. I mean, the RSI is at 80.72, which is insane. That is absolutely insane. I don't see the market like holding this for too long. It looks to me like this is going to start downtrending very soon. I see two possibilities. Either one, we're pumped thanks to the news of Biden signing the bill before we come back down, or the market's going to start downtrending from here, and I see SPY eventually making its way down to 425. If it breaks below 427.5, then we're likely going to see that. Tesla could get a retest before it comes down, or it could just start downtrending. I'm leaning the direction it's going to downtrend and retest 209 to 210. Very important support is going to be right there at this imbalance. If that fails us, we have another unfilled gap at 207. Tesla's likely going to either pump a little bit, then come down, or just start downtrending. Odds greatly favor that. Same with the QQQ. If it breaks below 353, that's going to be our very key confirmation of it coming all the way down to 350. If 350 fails us, we have this imbalance at 347.9, which is going to act as a magnet if 350 fails. But I'm leaning towards a test of 350 very soon over the next couple of trading days. That's going to likely drag lots of different stocks out. They're kind of red. There's also a bearish divergence on the QQQ. Let me just mention that. Once we get confirmation of this thing downtrending, it's likely going to lead to downside. You can see on the RSI and the MACD. And there's a bearish cross on the 1 hour PPO. So everything is pointing in the direction of the market cooling off soon. From a technical standpoint, this is not good news for NIO. I mean, this is looking like a left shoulder potentially ahead, but there's no confirmation of the right shoulder forming yet. But what I'm seeing for NIO is very choppy price action. It's going to make an attempt to bounce in the morning. It's likely going to remain kind of bearish based off this trend for now. Then we're going to be seeing a big reaction to the PMI report. However, excuse me, sorry guys. However, as far as NIO goes, we're likely going to see this thing downtrend and retest 7.5. 7.5 is going to be very significant because if NIO breaks below it, then the next support is going to be closer to the 7.23, 7.2 to 7.3, basically around there. And the odds greatly favor NIO eventually coming down a little bit because of that. Now, as we approach earnings, we could see NIO bounce in the middle of the week and then start pushing again. But we'll have to wait for that. For now, expect a big surge in volatility after 15 to 30 minutes. And I am anticipating some downside for the markets, which may drag NIO down just a bit back to this imbalance, closer to 7.25. I'm leaning in that direction. It might just try to chop around between 7.8 and 7.5 for some time into the open, and then it may slow down later on during the week, thanks to the market, especially QQQ and the NASDAQ, slowing things down. So that's the direction I'm leaning in. That does not mean I'm a mega bear. It's more like that's just what I see for the short term, just a couple of days. But then everything could change depending on earnings. If NIO gives us strong guidance and they tell us they're going to be projecting much more sales, that could help with the share price. So watch earnings very carefully for Friday before the market opens. And with that said, don't forget I have some merch for you guys if you're interested in buying a tank top or a hoodie or a shirt that says buy the dip to the moon or something like that. And don't forget about the Weeble link. And the Moomoo link, sorry. I have the Moomoo link and the Weeble link, but primarily the Moomoo link is going to be the bigger one for now because the deal is valid for the 10 free stocks. Check it out if you're interested. If not, it's completely fine with me. Thank you for listening, NIO to the Moon, and peace out.